Poole Harbour on the UK's south coast is a beautiful expanse of sheltered water with a long maritime history. And a new regular resident is now taking its place at the port, ready to become one of the UK's key links with the Channel Islands.
Welcome aboard the bridge of the Condor Liberation. This is the new Austal 102 fast ferry that Condor are going to put into action on their cross-channel route. It's an impressive ship. It's 102 metres long and it's powered by 3 water jets, which are all in the main hull. Should have a service speed of around 35 knots when she comes into action, but at the moment they're still finishing all the work. It won't take too long because her first scheduled trip is on the 27th of March, when she'll be leaving Poole, fully loaded we hope.
Condor Liberation's bridge and wing controls are still being fitted, but you can get a good idea of the working environment for the bridge team. High-speed craft like this tend to have a very aircraft-like control area designed to get all of the ship's key data in front of their eyes all the time. To get some idea of the background of Condor's decision to go with this Austal design, we first spoke to Captain Frank Collins, Condor Ferry's Executive Director of Operations.
As you know, we've had in-cat vessels for a long time. What we found is that they've served us really well over the past sort of 20 odd years, but one of the things we knew that the 86 metre vessels were getting older. We were suffering a bit with reliability and we needed to upgrade the fleet. One of the issues with the in-cat vessels is whilst they are very good at handling in the rough sea, that the ride quality is not great. The catamaran technology means you've got a very strong righting lever, which means the vessel tends to snap back upright, and from a passenger comfort aspect that's not ideal. And we started looking at the Stabilized Monohull, or trimaran.
And that brought you to here, because this is the only one in town, isn't it, really?
Yeah, exactly. We started looking at the technology. We were in discussion with Austal, and we went out to Tenerife and looked at the prototype version, the Fred Olsen Benchica Express, and we really liked it. When I first went on board, I was prepared to hate it because it was new and it was different. And we did a couple of days sailing around with them and really liked what she had to offer, particularly the ride quality. Anything from a flat calm day to some reasonable seas, and she's pretty comfortable.
So you actually had operational experience because she was in service while you were...
Yeah, we spent a couple of days sailing around on her with the regular crew, and the masters were great. They give us access to everybody, right from sort of the steward all the way up to the masters and chief engineers. And we decided we really liked that technology and went further into discussions, and here we are with the 102.
And the load and unload look good to you as well, because that's a key factor in ferry operation.
Exactly, the turnaround time is really crucial to us. One of the things we like about this car deck is it's much more accessible. It has slightly wider lanes than our last vessels, and the actual route for cars to get on board is fairly straightforward. It's drive on, drive around, drive off. It doesn't have sort of the 3 decks where you end up going up the curly stairs almost. What
kind of strictures do you have about port operations? Because you handle this ship into several ports, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are 2 sides to it. There's the vessel operation into the port, and obviously our ports are all quite small and are all very tidally affected. We have a tide metre range of, frequently 11 or 12 metres. And that has its own issues because there's not a lot of space in the ports. The vessel has to be very manoeuvrable. And then the other side of it is actually the load and discharge. And again, our ports are quite tight and quite small, so we need to be able to move vehicles through the car deck very quickly.
One major difference between Condor Liberation and many fast ferries are the bridge wings, specifically added at Condor's request to improve close-up manoeuvring control and visibility. Most ferries of this kind rely on closed-circuit TV systems for vision while berthing, but Condor felt that handling in Channel Island ports would be more accurate and safe with a direct view. We'll be back with part 2 soon, getting a first look at passenger accommodation and facilities and hearing more from the people involved in the fit-out and the ongoing service.